welcome to another episode of the More Than Sunday podcast. Episode 12.
Dude,
we're here.
Go.
We made it here, right?
We did it, man. We got through 6 episodes, and now we've gotten through another 6 episodes.
Let's go.
Dude,
and
man,
we're now old enough to go to youth. Because we're at 12.
Shout out to the blue card rules.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. It's been great. This journey's been really
we
good.
are so close to 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh,
Have you
man.
seen this, bro? I
We're
think we're at
so
93 last time I checked.
93.
Dude, we're so close.
We're getting so
bro.
close.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. But if you want to, make another account and subscribe.
If you love Jesus, you'll subscribe.
Yes, subscribe twice. Yeah, it's almost there. Almost at 100, bro.
Almost at 100, man.
I never thought we'd see the day. No, we're so blessed, aren't we?
So blessed, man.
And we're so grateful for everybody who's watching and joining the journey. It's been so great.
Yes.
And we're just trying to reach more people for Jesus. And we believe that's what we're doing. We've been having messages on TikTok. I've seen a few comments and messages of people from Pakistan, people from, I think it was Uganda or something, or I don't know, somewhere where they have TikTok. But
yeah, man, we're international.
International, bro. We're there. We're out there. So it's actually really, it's really crazy.
Yes,
dude. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but it's really crazy that you could post a video on your phone, and you can just press post. And people from across the globe can see that video.
It's crazy, man. Like, who would have thought we would get to a time like this where we could do that?
Dude, I never thought that someone from Pakistan would see a video, or Nigeria or wherever they are watching from. It's like, dude, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. It's like when Jesus came and when the Romans cleared all the roads, made it all easy for the gospel to spread for him. That was the perfect timing for Jesus to be able to spread the gospel.
Yeah,
like
100%.
the perfect timing.
Social media, the social media age.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time.
Yeah, I know that certain people who run these social media companies are probably the devil, probably Antichrist, but you know what? We can use it to spread the gospel.
Dude, we can redeem it. If it's there, it can be redeemed.
Amen.
It was like, that's why I think we're seeing such a powerful move across the globe right now, and seeing so many people come to Jesus. And I was saying last night in the car that New York just had a new mayor, and he's Muslim.
Yeah.
I won't go into it. Socialist mayor. And he, people are coming to Christ in New York.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's because they know he's becoming mayor, so they need hope. They need help. If only Jesus can save us.
Yeah.
Or they just, God's just doing something special.
Yes,
so it's really, really cool to see. But episode 12.
To episode 12. Yes.
And we're going to be, something that I've wanted to do for a while on a podcast, because I've seen other people do it.
Yes.
And I think it's a really cool thing to do, because I love this time of year. This time of year is probably my favorite time of year.
Because it's the most busiest?
Yes, that. But also because there's so much expectation for next year.
Oh, yes.
So I'll look back on the year that's been.
Yeah.
So for example, I went through my whole calendar for 2026 when it comes to youth.
Oh my gosh.
So I still got to go through young adults and just personal stuff. But right now I've just gone through youth, and I've planned every single week, because I want to, I want it to be fresh.
Yes.
So the reason why I want to do it fresh is because I forgot the pastor who talks about this, but he's a very well-known pastor in America. Mega church pastor. He's just passed on his church. Actually, I think he's like a head of a college now.
Oh, wow.
I forgot what you call that. What's like a head of a college? It's like,
like the principal?
Yeah, like the principal sort of thing for a college, like major church of the Highlands.
Yeah.
But maybe someone knows who that is. I don't know. I forgot his name. And so he talks about it, and I listen to his podcast, his leadership podcast. He says leaders always thinking ahead. We know that, right? And we spoke about that the other week, Pastor Danny, episode 10.
Yeah.
And it was really great, because I went through it all, and I'm like, man, it's so good to be fresh, because I can learn from what happened this year. So I can learn from what I got wrong, what I got right. I can put things in place so that I don't do that again, or maybe put things in place so we do that again, or whatever it might be. I love it. I just love this time of year. This time of year, obviously, is very busy because of Christmas. We get going, especially at Dunamis, very, very busy. Always got something. So Ed doesn't even work anymore. He's still going.
Still running around.
Yeah,
Shout out to Carol. Shout out to the Carols worship people.
Carols is crazy. So, that's going to be awesome though. But so you got got like something happening every week.
Yeah, in December.
But December's just cooked. But the great thing is that we can look at, back at the year and say, man, that was cool. That was not so cool.
Yeah.
And we can learn from it. Yeah, so that's what we want to do today.
Yeah, it's not to look back and like regret. It's like, okay, this is what happened. What can we learn from?
Yes, yeah. It's like proactive. It's being proactive in like, I want to be the best I can be.
Yes.
So whether that's looking back on your personal life, like I always look back on my personal, my marriage, my, whether it's health, like every single area of my life, finances, everything. I try and look back on everything. And on my social media, I'm trying to do more like journaling type things of just posting things. Like I don't care how much likes it gets. I do it so that I can look back on it one day and say, man, I learned that in 2025.
Yes.
And it's like the new way of journaling. So I'm doing that at the moment. I just wrote up the other night I wrote up about finances.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, what have I learned about finances this year? It's like, it's cooked, bro. I learned so much this year.
Yeah.
But which means I lost a lot. but it's just about learning, bro, and looking back and just getting better. And I think that's what it is. It's being proactive in being the best you can be. Because I think it's Craig Rochelle. He says that when the leader is better, everybody else is better.
Yeah.
And so if when you're leading people and you're leading an organization, you're leading a department, you're leading a ministry, you're leading a business, you're leading your family, you're leading anything. Yes. It's like, man, you got to really make sure that you're getting better. Yeah. Otherwise, if anything isn't growing, it's dying.
Yes.
Think about it. If you're not growing as a person, you're dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And if a plant's not growing, it's dying. It's dying. Because it needs to grow.
Yes.
So same thing with with your ministry, department, organization, business, whatever you're leading, is if it isn't growing, it's dying. So you need to make sure you're constantly growing. And that's why I love the time of year.
Yes.
I love it. I love November. I love looking at, bro. So that's what we're going to go over. So we'll start off we're going to go with youth and young adults, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to look at some of the things that are.
Yeah, because you had a lot of different plans in January, February earlier this year, Jake.
Dude, I got cooked.
Like
April as well,
sudden things where it's just like, I got to figure this out.
Oh, dude.
Like, where do you want to start? Youth camp, maybe?
Yeah, let's start a youth camp. Let's start a youth camp. Yeah, everyone was like, what happened? It was like, nah, dude, it was bad. So youth camp.
We all love youth camps.
We love youth camps, right? Yeah. Start of the year. Okay, I finished youth camp last year.
Yes.
Which was Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder.
2024.
Yeah, we did an old podcast.
Yeah, we did our
OG podcast.
Jesus King podcast. That was great.
That was great.
We cooked with that. That was really good.
We did really good socials as well. That was crazy.
That was really good. That was a good year. And we had some really good. We had Pastor Jacinta come and speak. We had Pastor Izzy come and speak.
We had Nigel. We had
Nigel there. We had Kai Stevenson from Authentic.
Yeah, man.
He came and led us in worship. We had a really good auditorium.
Dude, we went hard with
Ed loved
yesterday. Dude, the auditorium was great. Man.
Ed loved it, dude. It was really good. It was a good campsite.
Yeah.
But then they sold it. So we were there. And it was the last night. And I went and spoke to the caretaker and I was like, can we book this in for the same time next year? Yeah. And because I was like, let's just go back. Let's just go same place. Let's just keep going same place. Yeah. It was great. And then, and so much room to grow.
Yes.
So much room to grow.
Space in the
you could fit easily over 300 people. And so we were so excited. And then she's like, nah, we're selling it. So they're selling it to like a missionary organization, selling it back to a missionary organization. Yeah. And they're just not going to use it for youth camps. And so we're like, bro. And so that whole holidays, I was like, whole term 4, Christmas holidays, I was like,
God,
I need a campsite. You know what I mean? Because I like to be early and I'm doing the same thing this year. I'm really trying to find one. But they're so expensive, right?
Yes, they are.
Everything's gone up. Yeah. So like I'm getting quotes now and they're all like $400 per person. Not even including a bus. So I'm not calling out campsites and everything. It is. But I know they have to make ends meet. I know caretaking is a lot of money. I understand all these different things.
Taxed all that,
yeah, it makes sense. But when you're leading a youth ministry in Logan, in the center of Logan, where it's a hub for street kids, people from the community, and not even that, like teenagers don't want to pay $400.
Yes.
Just to go to, I know it's worth it, but it's, it's just not,
you have to be realistic, like with the budgeting.
Exactly. I struggle to get people to pay $200. Imagine $400.
Dude, you charge like $3.50 for burgers.
Yeah.
People struggle to pay
Yes, dude. It's wild, bro. So we have to do it free a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So couldn't find a place.
Yep.
I can't find one now, but couldn't find a place.
Yes.
And so I was like, you know what? Let's do a 2-night event in April holidays.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like a conference sort of vibe.
Yes.
I got the idea from, I'm just going to give credit to Pastor Daniel Russell down in, someone I look up to, someone I admire, down in a highway youth down the Gold Coast in Ormo. They do Hilltop Weekend, always pumping.
Yeah.
Great. I've been there. It's amazing. So I was like, you know what? Let's do that. Yeah. You know, it's a model that we can, you know, we can grow from and
mix it up.
You know,
like,
mix it up. Yeah. We can add our own flavor to it and do a thing.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Yes.
So we organized it, planned it. Pastor Sean got on board.
Yeah.
He was like going to support me in everything. He's such a supportive pastor. So he's like, dude, whatever you need, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And he goes, because he's going to, you know, we can really make this a really big outreach thing and really, you know, bring in some unsaved and whatnot.
Yes.
Dude, I was keen. I was so happy. So we're like probably I'm just going to say be generous, 6 weeks out.
Yeah, 6 weeks from it. Yeah.
From it, right?
Yeah.
We're probably like half, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember the branding for that too. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had all the branding out.
Was out there.
I had a Facebook event.
Yeah.
And we did a bit of marketing, but the marketing wasn't hitting. Like as in normally when I'm like, and when I say marketing, promoting an event.
Yeah.
So say if I'm just promoting youth camp, dude, it always hits.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have parents reach out to you. You're going to have kids reach out.
Yeah.
People register. It just hits.
Yeah.
Dude, this wasn't hitting. And so I'm like, okay, that's a red flag, but I'm just going to keep doing it because I've already committed.
Yeah.
And Pastor Sean and myself, he takes me out to this BMX place. We go look at this, meet these guys. Yeah. They're Christians and they're really good at BMXing.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we organize it and we talk to them like, yeah, you reach out to my people, whatever.
Yeah.
So we had the office and help out and they send in pricing and they send quotes and all that sort of stuff. And then it comes to insurance.
Oh.
And so that's where it gets rough.
Yeah.
And so either we cover the insurance or, you know, we have to pay extra to get it under something else, whatever it might be. I have no idea. I just say what I want to do and I try and get everyone else help me out. So that's basically what happens, right? Yes. What do I say? I'm a visionary leader, okay? Yeah. I'm not good at all the other stuff.
The execution.
Yeah, I'm not good at the logistical side of things. Yeah. So it just was not lining up. And then dude, it was like a lot of money. I'm not even going to say how much, but all up for not even 2 nights because the 2 nights was going to be the event.
Yes.
But the BMX, like the outreach event was only the first night.
Oh,
so this was just for the first night.
Yeah.
I'm talking double digits, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Thousands of dollars.
Oh my gosh.
For like a couple hours. And so Pastor Sean was like, not happening. I was like, no, I agree. We're not doing it.
Stuffed.
So, and so did my mum, she's also the accounts person. So she was like, not happening either way. Yeah. So anyway, it's really hard to get past her, but yeah, we did. Anyway, that gets cancelled.
Yeah, that's the first
bro. That gets cancelled.
Yeah.
We're going into term 2.
Yes.
And I'm like, we got 8 weeks in term 2. What are we doing? And so I'm like, do we do a youth camp in September? Because that gives us 2 terms to prepare. Yeah. Kids camps in September.
Yes.
And I don't want to double up.
Yeah.
You don't want to double up because you got a lot of overlap.
Yeah. A lot of the
church families.
The youth leaders in kids church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a really good thing right now where kids and youth ministry we work really well together. And so we're like, okay, me and Lacey in communication, we're like, which Lacey was on last week for us. Thank you, Lacey, for coming on.
Yeah, shout out Lacey.
Shout out Lacey. And so she was like, look, I'll make it work if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And so we're like, you know what? Okay. I was like, nah, I can't do that though. I just can't do it to the church families. I can't do it to the leaders and whatnot. It's mainly church families. We're trying not to do that too. So I got 8 weeks, bro. I'm like trying to get it. So I'm reaching out to all these different youth camp sites. I get a youth camp site and we're just like, dude, I don't care what it doesn't have or what it does have. We're taking it. We're just going to make it work.
Yes.
So that's what we did. And it took us 8 weeks, but we did get a youth camp together. Now, what I will say is this. When change comes, and this is going to be a serious little point, but when change comes, you've got to be fluid.
Yes, 100%.
You've got to be fluid. And this is in life in general. Like, dude, I could have been so rock solid and just been like, dude, I'm not letting this affect me. I'm not letting this, we're still going to keep going. Or I don't know what my mindset would have been opposite, but because the mindset was, you know what, we're just going to keep rolling with the punches. That's what we did. But the problem was that, you know, the problem is that if you're not fluid, then whenever an obstacle comes your way, this is Pastor Sean's teaching, you hit it and then there's explosion, people get hurt, there's damage control. When you're fluid, you can go around it, you can go over it, you can do all that good stuff. So that's something that I learned this year. So like that's the first point is, dude. And so youth camp was amazing. It was really intimate because it was only 8 weeks. So we didn't really get to give it a big push and get heaps of regos in. But it was a nice intimate, you know, thing. And we saw a lot of development within the individuals and we're seeing the fruits from that now. Yeah. But it was a really good time of just pouring into, you know, the ones who are dedicated, consistent, and they're coming every week, you know. Yes. And so it was a great time. But yeah, it was really hard to learn. Dude, it was rough. It was crazy. 8 weeks to plan a youth camp. Like for me, that was not good enough. So yeah, dude, I was struggling, man. And I remember I just needed a rest. I think we went on a holiday straight after.
Yeah, I
was like, I need a break.
Yes.
But it was a great time. But yeah, like I said, you got to be fluid. You got to be fluid. So that's another thing I've learned this year, especially in the youth ministry area. And the whole team, it's not just me, like the whole team was very, very good. Joe, we might get him on here one time. We're just talking about it. But Joe, he took care of our tribal wars and stuff like that. He's one of my core leaders. Does a great job. He did all that. And he only had 8 weeks and he did a great job.
Oh, wow.
You know, and Marley, she's another core leader. She just did a great job of just organizing the band and making sure they're all good to go. And she did a really good job doing that as well. So it was all a team effort, but it was rough for all of us. And I'm so grateful that God got us through. By the grace of God, we survived and I didn't get depressed, but so it was a great time. But yeah, it was really rough that season. And that was July. Yeah. So that was term 2 heading into term 3.
Yes.
So back to term 1. Term 1 that was good. Like I think Chelsea and I had the vision of, and the team was really just pouring into the ones we have in front of us.
Yes.
So there was never, fun fact, and this is where I want to get to as well, is I stopped doing schools outreach.
Yes.
So I just stopped and I just felt, I got too busy for it. Yes. Just mixture with young adults and because young adults is like, dude, you go get coffee in the mornings because everyone's like, okay, let's just get a quick coffee in the morning. Let's do catch ups in the mornings. So I'm like, I don't have time to do the school's outreach in the mornings anymore. Yeah. So that was one aspect. But the other aspect was I just didn't feel it a burden on my heart anymore. Yes. So for the past 2 years I've been doing, since I started as a youth pastor, I've been doing that. And I did it at Springwood. I did it at Roachdale.
Yes.
And another school. I forgot the other school. Yeah. But I did it at another school. So I did it at these different schools and it was great for a good 2 years. And then see a bit of fruit. Like we still got kids who come from that period of time and it was really good. But I just felt God wasn't calling me to do that. So we just felt pour into the ones you have in front of us, in front of you and make disciples. Really big push on discipleship. So if I just think of anything this year, one word I would probably say is discipleship. The reason why is because Matthew 28:19. Make disciples. But like there's a real call for that in the generation now, especially in Gen Z.
They're hungry, man.
They're hungry and they want to be held accountable. Yeah. They want to learn more about the word. Yeah. And they have this respect that I don't think even around my age, we never had that. Yeah. And there's just such a hunger for the things of God.
Yes.
And authenticity. Yep. Oh, that's another one. Yep. And this is the same with young adults too. Yep. If you're not authentic, they will find out.
They smell it.
They smell it, bro. Yep. And if you're on stage and you're preaching or if you're on pulpit or you're just teaching them, talking to them, they can tell when you're not authentic. Yep. And when you're being fake and doing your fake smiles and your fake laughs, dude, they can tell. Yep. And so that's something that, dude, like you got to be real with yourself if you're going to reach the next generation. And that's something that I've found is that don't try and be anyone else. Don't change your personality.
Don't replicate.
Yeah. Jabin Chavez says, he goes, you know, Rick Warren wrote a great book called The Purpose-Driven Church. It's talking about obviously church growth.
Yeah.
But he talks about how you want to be purpose-driven. You don't want to be personality-driven. You don't want to be programs-driven, all these different things. But there's like the personality driven part. I don't know if I 100% agree with it. And Jabin Chavez has a teaching and I kind of agree with his teaching. He doesn't disagree with it, but there's a real difference between, dude, you're gonna lead with your personality at some point.
Yeah.
Every leader has a personality.
Yes.
And if you're changing your personality, then you're not being authentic and you're not going to reach people. You're not going to have any influence.
Yep.
So every leader is going to have a personality and you're going to lead with your personality.
Yes.
Now, you don't let that lead you because then emotions get involved with it. But you let the word of God lead you. You let the Spirit of God lead you. But at the same time, your personality is going to get in the way. You're going to have a personality. And so either people are drawn to that personality or not drawn to it.
Yes.
And exactly. So,
there was like during COVID, we used to do this thing called Tonight at Dunamis.
Yes.
And I used to co-host on it.
Yeah.
And I'd be, fun, bubbly, jokey with Pasha Shawan.
Yeah.
And then people would come and say hi to me and I'd be like, like what? I'm editing. And they're like, oh, Ed, you're not the same guy on the TV, fun, joking around, laughing. I'm like, I'm working.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like that kind of stuff.
But that's because that's your personality. When you work and you're locked in, bro. Yeah, when you're not, you're like, you're the funnest guy ever.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. And,
it's different.
That's so funny. But you can't change yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's something that good leaders understand.
Yes.
And for what I was saying. Oh, personality. Yeah. Personality driven. So you don't change yourself. Don't try and change your personality. Don't try and be like this guy. Don't try to be like that guy. Be you. And you'll reach the younger generations.
100%.
So that's what we're doing. And discipleship is a big one. And if you want to reach people, you want to disciple them, you got to be authentic.
Yes.
And you got to be good. So key word for 2025 for us at youth was discipleship.
Yes.
And so we're really big on that. And then the younger generation are on fire and they want to move of God and they want revival and they want all those big things. I said it, the R word. They want it. They want it. We have one of anyway, I'll get into that in a second. But term one, really just disciple.
Yes.
I have no idea what our term one series was, but I think we had a mixture of two different series. And then term two, so obviously that got cancelled in between term 1 and 2. It was going to happen in term 1 or 2, the event.
Yes.
But then between term 2 and 3 was youth camp. Yeah. Term 2 was just us trying to figure out how to do youth camp. We did youth camp and it was powerful. We come out of youth camp, head into term 3.
Yeah.
Term 3 had everything.
Yeah.
It was good and bad. So it was very inconsistent. It was a longer term.
Oh, yes, all the conferences. Yeah. Like, hey, look, we love our women. Shout out to the Power Conference, but
it messes with us. It messes with us, bro. It messes with youth ministry. Not in a bad way. It's just really, that's one thing that we have to build around, sort of thing, make sure everything works around it. The other thing was there was another event that we went to, that was okay. But I think going forward, it might not be a primary sort of choice.
Yes.
We might make it something that if you want to go to, you can go to because it's a public event, but we're going to still do youth.
Yep.
And then the other one was, we had outside things that were happening at the church that we just had no control over. Yep. So all these different things happened and it just messed up term 3.
The calendar was whack.
It was whack, dude. And we would be lucky to get 4 weeks in a row.
Oh, wow.
3 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So, but at the same time, the start of the term was really good.
Yeah.
Coming out of youth camp, there was so many on fire individuals. And so for myself and Chelsea as well, as pastors, we had to steward that correctly.
Yes.
And so we couldn't put their fire out, or we couldn't let them just dwindle. We had to keep fanning into flame and praying those God fans into flame, but we just had to laying on of hands and praying for them, ministering to them and letting God use us to do that. We did that. And term 3 was great until the inconsistent parts, but which is hard. You can't really control it, but it was hard. So, but we spoke about real faith in term 3. So it was all about real faith, and it was a great term. I think they really learned some foundational things about the faith and how to have faith in hard times, how to have faith in good times. What does it mean to have faith? What is faith? All these different things, and it was really, really good. And something that I think term 3 taught us was consistency.
Yes.
Like we had to learn from that quickly, because if we didn't, like I said, if it isn't growing, it's dying.
Yes.
So if we didn't, like we had nights where there was, numbers were low. And not all about numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. Like I'll say this, a couple of weeks ago, we had a really, really good night. And I think we had our most we've ever had, but I don't know the number.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that guy. Like I don't want to know the number. Because I don't have to either. Some of the team, they do all the logistical sign in, all that stuff. I just give them the role.
Yeah.
But I looked at the role and it was a good role.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only way I measure it. So but yeah, it was so we had some really bad nights, really low nights. Not bad nights. It was God still moved. But like I said, you just keep stewarding what God has given you. We kept pouring into the ones we had, and consistency, that was all about. So heading out of term 3, heading into term 4, term 4 has been amazing. Term 4 has been very, very powerful. We've seen a lot of growth spiritually and numerically. We've seen a lot of growth. Dude, we've had a lot of donations.
Ooh.
So like I know people get all things, money. No, dude, it's an important part of youth ministry, and youth ministry never has any money. Any youth ministry, you never get money because you don't give. Like they don't have money either. So, but we've been really blessed this term. And so God has moved really, and it's such a fruit from just pouring into the ones that are in front of you. And, it's been great. So yeah, Real Faith was last term.
Yes.
And what I will say about the series, about having a different theme, don't be afraid to teach. If you have a teenager, I'm not trying to teach you how to be a parent, but because I've only got a 2-year-old. But what I am saying is to being a youth pastor, don't be afraid to teach the teenagers about the word of God. Like meat. Like you start off obviously with the foundational milk and just, the basics. Right? And we did that. We spoke about faith. We spoke about what is the gospel.
Yes.
Like we just spoke about the basics. This is what the good news is.
Yeah.
If you don't, because another pastor was telling me, he's a chaplain at a school, when he said, he asked all the kids in this class, he said, do you know what the gospel is? They're all just like, no. And they're all Christian kids. Some of them have parents who are pastors. Dude, they don't know what the gospel is.
Wow.
And we're running around. That's the foundation of the faith. Like the gospel, the good news is literally what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, we got to do this as a teaching. I think we did it at the start of the year or maybe back into last year, but it was amazing. We spoke about what is the gospel. That's the basics. But then we're getting into things like next year we're going to release we're going to put it out there for the parents and also for the youth themselves, like a teaching timeline. So we're going to, I've actually already got it up. So we've got each term what we're going to be teaching and talking about.
Nice.
I think it's important to give clarity as well. So,
and you're not quenching the Holy Spirit or putting a lid on it.
If it changes, it changes.
Yeah, it changes. But it's good to have a plan. It's good to have order. It's good. It's like to plan this kind of stuff out. It also kind of brings a sense of excitement. Like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming up. I'm going to be there.
Yes.
So we're not just putting a lid on anything.
We also have 100%. And also we have got nights like invite night where it's evangelism. And my message that I preach on those nights is fully evangelistic. Like I'm just trying to get someone saved. Because I know they're going to bring their friends. I know that's the whole goal. Bring your friends, invite night, invite somebody who needs Jesus. That's another thing I'll get into as well. But so having different series, different terms is very important. And for me, it has made this year so much more special because we've deliberately had what we're going to talk about. What are they learning about? And, it might be different for another youth ministry. It might be different for other teenagers and personalities, but in our community, and we can only tailor for it, we can only do what works for us is just, whatever works for you, you do. And you can only stick to your personality. And so we are going to lead a little bit with our personality. I think that's what I was getting to earlier. And so whatever I lead with, I just got to go with what works for me. And everyone has their own personality. Everyone has their own way of doing things. And so us as a community, as a youth community, we have our own way of doing things, and that just works for us. And because they love the word of God and they love to learn. They always take notes. They're really deep thinkers. And so I'm really honored because I love teaching. So it works perfectly, and that's what we've been doing. And so it's changed a lot of things. And don't be afraid to teach them difficult subjects.
Like deeper stuff,
Deeper stuff. Next year we're going into one of the series is called What Does the Bible Say? And it's answering life's toughest questions with the truth. And so we want to go into tough questions. why is there suffering? What all these different, because this is what teenagers have. They have these thoughts like, okay, if God is real, why is this happening? Or, and we want to answer that with the Bible.
Yeah.
And because that's the word of God. And so that's the truth. And so we want to give them that. And don't be afraid to do that. It's changed us as a youth ministry. In my opinion, I believe that these young people that we are leading as a youth team they are built different. And I'm obviously biased, but they are built different. Like these guys, and we're going to give them a shout out, but these guys go out evangelizing every Sunday that they can over at the Hyperdome. We have a big shopping Hyperdome right across from us. And they go out there evangelizing at the bus stop and all that sort of stuff. There's like 4 of them. Shout out to
Connor,
Taj, Indiana. And Joseph, because Joseph's been going too. So there's about 4 of them and they're doing a great job. And I'm so proud of them. And to see how far they've come. But I believe it's because of what we teach. And we got to teach them the right things. I'm not saying it's because of what we teach. I'm not saying it's our thing, but I'm saying it's important to make sure you're teaching them the right things. Otherwise, they're confused. And so it's important. Don't be afraid to do that with teenagers, man. It's, for me, in my opinion, it's changed our youth ministry so many different ways. So, series is important and doing stuff like that. I was going back earlier, I was talking about outreach and I was talking about how I stopped doing schools outreach. So the reason why I stopped doing that is because God spoke to me, whatever. And so I stopped doing that in term 1. It's term 4 now. And I haven't done an outreach at a school this whole year.
Oh, wow.
We have had record, like new people coming. Invite night was massive.
Oh, yeah.
We had now, which we're about to, because another girl we're trying to help her, empower her and release her to do it because she really feels God's calling her to do it. She's an evangelist at heart. Shout out to Avi.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 4 Bible studies in 4 different high schools. And they're all ran by students.
Wow.
And one of them runs a Bible study and a prayer group.
Oh my gosh.
And they're all state schools.
Wow. State schools.
All state schools, bro. And if I tell you the state schools, which I can't, but if I tell you the state schools, you'd be like, what
the heck? No way.
No way. Because of the areas, the demographic. And then we're about to have 5. And I'm believing for the 5th one because one girl wants to do it. So I don't want to say the R word, but God is moving. Revival, we're believing for a move of God and I want to see one. And these youth are the ones who are going to do it, not me, not anyone else, not a singer, not a preacher. It's going to be God. He's going to be doing it through his children. And we're seeing it happen. And so, what I'm trying to say is there was no strategy. Like there was no strategy.
There really wasn't.
There really literally wasn't, right? There literally wasn't. Like, and if you know me as a leader, I'm not really good with strategy. So I sort of just go where the Spirit says. And
he had no idea what he was doing.
I had no idea. So we stopped doing outreach and then I'm like, okay, so I'm speaking to other pastors, right? And these guys are doing strategy. Like they're going to high schools, they're doing these things. And I'm sitting back, man, I'm like, I don't do any of this. But the reason why I can, but I don't feel the burden and I don't feel God is calling me to do it. So if God isn't calling you to do something, just because everyone else is doing it, don't do it. Because now we're seeing the fruits of it. I haven't had to, I've visited one of them. I've only done one visit where I've gone out and actually gone and preached at the Bible, mainly because the school won't let me in, but also, I've only done it once. I've only gone to the Bible study and I've preached at the Bible study. That was once. And I only had like 10 minutes. They were very strict. It just shows that you just keep obeying what God's, it might not look the same as everyone else, but you got to go. And like I said about personalities and unique, the way God has created you as a leader, or maybe the way that God has created you as a person is different to everybody else. That means you have a different story. You have a different journey. You have a different thing. You're a different person. And so you're called for a different way of doing things. And you gotta stick to that because that's the way God's created you. And so that's something that I had to learn this year is I got to stick to the way God has asked me to do this ministry. And now we're seeing the fruits of that. And it's so powerful to see that, it wasn't by strategy. It wasn't by any sort of planning or anything. It's just God did it. And so, but that means that we plan around and we want to be, what I love is the reason why I've gone through on a plan next year is because I want to be on God's side.
Yes.
I don't want to be on my side.
Yeah.
I don't want God to be on my side either.
Yeah.
That Pastor Sean speaks about. Yeah. I want to be on God's side. So wherever God's moving, I want to be at.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to structure around what God's doing right now. And that's why it's important to plan. That's why it's important to make sure you got something going on.
Even in like the young adults, that was a pretty major shakeup. If you wouldn't mind switching to like young adults.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there was like, you were in the auditorium at one point, and then we went into the foyer.
Yeah.
And then like, so what was the mixing it up or?
Trying to figure it out, bro. I'm trying to figure it out. No, I sound so stupid. And I'm like, oh dude, what type of leader are you trying to figure it out? We're all just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Young adults it's been great. It's been a real stretch for Chelsea and I.
Yes.
And anyone who does young adults and youth ministry of a decent sized church, you'd know this.
Yes.
It's one thing to say you're the young adults and youth pastor and you have no young adults at your church.
Yeah.
But we have young adults at our church and we have youth at our church. And so it's hard. It's a hard transition. So start of this year, we took over young adults.
Yeah.
Chelsea and I became young adults pastors. The year before that, we started doing a lot of planning.
Yes.
And I felt 6 months through last year, I was like, I said to Pastor Denny, I said to him, I feel God's calling me to it.
Yeah.
Give me 6 months. Give me 6 months. Let me just try and grab it by the horns and just do something.
Yeah.
Not me do it, but because I just felt this urgency in my spirit. It was the same thing I felt when I first took over youth from Eric.
Yes.
So Eric was like, there was meant to be a transitionary period with Eric and I, and Eric was meant to stay on for a little bit, and Pastor Josiah wanted to help me to do so that I didn't just get thrown in the deep end. But I was like, I want to take it now. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And so I said that to Pastor Josiah and Eric, and they were like, okay, yeah, go for it, dude. Like if you feel that, you got to go with it. And I said, okay. They were very supportive. So that's what we did at youth. And I felt that same thing. So I went to Pastor Danny. I said, this is what I want to do. Give me 6 months. Let me do something. He goes, all right, I'll give you 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So he gave me 6 months and it was all right. Like we saw God move, you know, and as much, you know, from the outside in, it might not have looked at, it was like a revival, a move of God. It was, you know, there was not 1,000 people showing up. It wasn't like 50 young adults or there was, you know, no, it wasn't quite that.
Yes.
It was, I had some outside speakers come in who were very experienced and speak into the ministry. Like we had a Pastor Isaac Lenton who's been doing young adults ministry. He was at that point, he was doing like 8 years or something. He was doing it for a long time. Yeah. I forgot who else we had come in, and we had a few other people come through and speak into the ministry, which was a real blessing.
Yes.
And that was really good for us because it was like the foundational, like, okay, with, you know, as a young adults community, there was only a few of us, but we were sort of figuring it out. Like, okay, this is where we go from here. And that transition period was hard for some people.
Yeah, because you lost a lot of people. Like there was a lot of people there, 100%. And then because of the ages and stuff like that,
So Pastor,
there was a big transition that was happening basically.
Pastor Denny basically, I think he did it for 6 or 7 years. I think he did it for 6 or 7 years. And so he sort of like grew up with the young adults. So the young adults all sort of grew up together, had kids, had young families, and it sort of turned into young families.
Like a young family.
Yeah, because everyone sort of just grew old together. It was really good. And so when that happened, when we took over, there was a lot of people gone because they weren't young adults anymore.
They were
all like, so it was like they were adults and they had young families. So which is natural progression, right? Yeah. So then we come in and then we were like, okay.
There's heaps of people graduating from youth as well. So then there was a bunch of very young, like 18, 19. It's like, then there's a bunch of like 32, 34. It's like,
and like in 2 years' time, there's going to be even more.
Yeah.
In a year's time, there's going to be even more because the youth ministry is, because it is growing, it's like you have people transition constantly from youth to young adults, and we're just catching those at the moment. So that's what's happening at young adults right now. And so it's not like a 1 year thing. It's a 5 year thing. If you really want to see young adults flourish, it's going to be a 5 year thing. And so that's what we're in it for the long haul, Pastor Chelsea and I, and we want to see young adults just flourish. And we know it's a good, 5-year run.
Yeah.
That's going to be, as in 5-year run, what I mean by that is if you really want to see the, real fruits from this laboring season, it's going to be in, good 3 to 5 years. So, that's young adults. Yeah.
Yes.
It was a big transition, a big move, a lot of change. And if I'm going to be honest, be vulnerable, it took Chelsea and I a bit to get our handles on it too. Like youth has been, we're so passionate about youth and we're so passionate about the next generation that young adults was sort of like hard for us to figure out because they are two different ministries. And if you know anyone who's experiencing young adults, they will tell you it's like, they're two different things. It's completely different. But in saying that, what I will say is, this is probably a good point, is Chelsea and I as leaders, I had to learn, okay, and this is just me, venting about what I've learned this year. And I think it's going to help somebody. What I had to learn was, as a pastor, I'm a pastor.
Yes.
I'm not just a youth pastor. I'm not just, that's my title here at the church, and Pastor Sean has taught me this and my dad has taught me this so much.
Yes.
And it's the same thing on a Sunday. I'm not just a youth pastor. So if somebody wants prayer, if somebody wants me to minister to them, I don't say, no, I'm not, I can't do that. I'm the youth pastor. No. It doesn't matter. I'm a pastor. That's what God has called me to do. So I'm going to do it no matter who's in front of me. And that's what I had to learn this year. And so this is what at the start of when I first, and you probably heard me say this, is I got to take my youth pastor hat off and put my young adults pastor hat on.
Yes.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh.
I just be me. I be me and I be who I am. And I've seen more fruit. Like last night we went out. It was a great night. We had our breakup for the year at Young Adults. And it was a great time of fellowship. And something that I learned is that I'm not taking my hat off, bro. I'm
you.
I'm me. I'm not gonna change just because I'm in a different environment. Okay, 100%. You change the way you lead in different ways, but you don't change the way you pastor.
Yes.
Because you're pastoring whoever's in front of you and whoever God gives me. So that's something that Chelsea and I learnt this year, and we've really sort of grabbed a grasp of it only now. It's nearly end of the year. So, but that's always year one. At youth, we felt the same thing and I'm probably just going to cast some vision now, but youth. Year one was we had this small group of teenagers, very small, and we were just like, okay, this is what we're going to build from. We went to young adults this year. We've got this small group of young adults, but this is what we're going to build from. And we're going to see God move. And we're going to see. So I got excited last night when we went out and we had, not everyone was there, by the way, but at the same time, the people who were there, I just looked out and I looked at the photos and I'm like, man, this is exciting. Because this is only the beginning. The Bible says don't despise small beginnings. And I'm so excited for 2026 because, man, I'm expecting for God to move in a powerful way in youth and in young adults. And I know Pastor Sean has been prayerfully praying for it. And he's always encouraging me whenever I speak to him because and just how the expectancy of God's going to move. God is moving. You're having a move. And I'm just so passionate about it because I'm so excited for 2026. I'm so excited for what God can do. And just looking at last night, we had our breakup. We're about to have our friends and family dinner for youth on the, I think, a few Fridays. And that's going to be amazing as well. We're going to have everybody who's been involved with youth this year and we're just going to have a really good feed and hang out and fellowship together and celebrate the year. And I'm so excited for that because then it gives me another glimpse into 2026 and to see what God can do and what he's doing already and to see how much God has done. And so, young adults was a hard one to grasp. It took us a while, but we're seeing God move and I'm excited for 2026. I think we're going to bring back some small groups and we're going to bring back I won't give too much away, but we're going to bring back some things and a little bit of change. But like I said, you got to go with what God has designed your ministry to go by. And you can't compare off other ones. You have to do what works for you. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm excited. 2026 around the corner. But like I said, I love this time of year. I love the looking back on the year and all the failures and mistakes and I don't get depressed about it. I don't get sad about it because I'm learning from it. And I'm so passionate about learning and I just want to learn as much as I can so we can do better. Yeah, you can either do two things as a person, as a Christian. You can either do two things. You can look back on the year that's been and you can say, man, that was a trash year. Yeah. Or you can look back on the year that's been and say, man, that was a great year because I had a lot of lessons I can learn. Yeah. I also had a lot of victories and a lot of good things happen. Yeah. But the Bible says, I think Paul says it. He says, don't sit in either. Like you don't sit in the criticism or the victory. Yes. You don't sit in the failure or the victory. You just sit in the middle. Yes. And so yes, you take from the victory, you take from the failure, but you keep moving forward. And you don't sit in either, because if you sit in victory too long, you become cocky. Yeah. If you sit in defeat too long, you become depressed and you give up. So you really got to just take from both, but don't stay in either. Yeah. So you can just learn from either. And I think that's a really good way to put it. Every year, I think every leader should do this. I think every person should look back on their year and say, okay, what was the year that I had? What was the one word I can highlight the year? I'm doing this in a ministry aspect, but you could do this in any aspect. Yeah. And look at it and say, okay, what can I learn from? Yes. What can I do better? What did I do good? And what can I keep doing? What can I stop doing? Yes. And that's something that we're doing right now at youth and young adults. And I'm so excited. It gets me so pumped because I just get so excited for what God is going to do and all the things he has in store. And I think even about the podcast, looking back this part, I know when did we start? We started halfway through the year. Yeah,
about mid-year, I think
about
it was.
Mid-year. Yeah. So we can look back on this and say, okay, what can we do better? What can we learn? And we got great things in store, so it's going to be great. But when you do plan like next year, that kind of stuff, always like think as like big as possible. 100%.
That's what Pastor John's always kind of taught us. Kind of like always just think like, okay, God's always got something bigger, so I'm going to also just think as big as possible. Yeah. Don't think like, oh, maybe. Nah, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's plan for it, man. Like, you know what? Let's make the goal like the speaker. Yeah. Like when we. Oh, like yes. A young adults. When I sent Jake the price tag, he was like. I
was like, bro, how are we going to do that?
Ed, what is this? Like, I get it can do everything. It can make
I think we're almost there too. Yeah.
But like, we're almost there. Yeah. And we didn't look at the finances like, oh, nah, we need to find something cheaper. I was like, you know what? We'll start telling people about it. Exactly. We'll say this is the goal.
Exactly.
And then money started coming in.
Yeah, dude, it's so powerful. God just takes care of it. It is. But it's the faith, man. Yes. You got to have faith, and it's nothing we did. It's all about just God's grace. But at the same time, you got to partner with the Lord. Yes. You got to say, Lord, okay, if you want us to do this, we can do it. Yes. Or if you want us to do this, you can do it. You know, like it's all about partnering with God. And it's back to the thing. I want to be on God's side. Yeah. I don't want God to be on my side. I want to be on God's side because that's how it really works. And the speaker's a great example because we're almost there. And it's crazy. Like we only started probably a couple of weeks ago doing it. And even young adults going from the auditorium to the foyer, it was really just going whatever the Holy Spirit wanted to do. And I had the vision. You know what's crazy about us going to the foyer was I had a vision. I had a dream like, dude, I reckon it was probably 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I wasn't looking at young adults. I wasn't like, oh, I want to be young adults pastor. I actually was like, no, I don't want to be young adults pastor. I want to just be youth pastor. But there was this dream I had of preaching in the auditorium and there were seats in front of me. Yeah. And that's what we did for the past month, 2 months or whatever, 3 months. And I remember one time I was standing up there preaching and I had that vision come back into my mind. And I was like, but like a deja vu sort of moment. It was more just God reminding me of what he showed me before. And that was really encouraging. So young adults has been a constant, at the start of the year, we had a real fresh fire. We did at the Vita Nova Studios, we did the launch there and that was really fun and really cool. And up in the city in Wollongabba. And there was a real hype that came from that, especially around the young adults community here at Dunamis. And there was a real hype that came from it. And then we just kept going and we had ups and downs, like it died off a little bit and we didn't really see it. And then we had to try and figure out how to wrestle back momentum because this is another one. Once you lose momentum, it's really hard to wrestle it back. Yeah. And that's something that I've learned in my short time in full-time vocational ministry. Once you lose that momentum, it's really hard to get it back. But once you get it back, you better not let go of it. Yeah. Because once God starts moving, you better jump on that wave. Yeah. And you better, Pastor Sean talks about it, in ministry, there's waves and it's like surfing. You got to you're sitting on your board and you're just waiting for that right wave to come. And you got to learn how to tell the waves. I remember I surfed like once and, I loved it. I actually really loved it. I still got the surfboard at home. I just got to get back into it. And so I remember I was, you sit out there and you're like, you start to learn how to pick up if a wave's coming or if it's a good one or not. And so I remember it's the same thing with ministry. Like you see the waves coming in, you're like, okay, this is a wave I'm going to ride. Yes. You take every wave, bro. And that's something that I'm learning in ministry is whenever a wave comes, like a little move of God comes, you jump on the back of that thing and you ride that wave until you hit the shore. Like do not get off of it because who knows what God has in store. And so that's the same with young adults. I just rode it, and then once you get that momentum back, you jump back on that wave. You keep riding it because once you fall off it, you can't get back on that wave again. You got to wait for another one.
Wait for another one
because that wave's gone. So the same thing with ministry, business, life. Once you get that momentum, you better hold on and stay on and keep riding it. And then, so that's something at young adults has just been wrestling back that momentum. And the back end of the year, I think we really got there. I think God really helped us get back on that wave. And so we're just riding that one as well. So man, it's a good time to look back on the year and see what we can learn from and do better at. And that's, but there's another thing we're going to talk about, right? With community. Right. And Ed put together a little thing with iron sharpens iron, from Proverbs, which is really, really powerful. And when I read this, it really reminded me of a current season we're in right now at youth and young adults, and also in the church. Because, we've been speaking about it a little bit lately, but just the importance of community, having the right people around you, surrounding yourself with the right people. And I think it's a common theme that's being spoken throughout our church at the moment is, do you have community? Do you have the right community? And are they helping you in the right areas, right? And so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about, how important it is for you to have the right people who are sharpening you. Who are helping you.
So, I mean, we've all heard it said, Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron and one rock sharp test. Well, what's the next word that comes next? Iron sharpens iron and one
person.
CSB. Women can sharpen each other. I know some people.
Because the other translations will say man.
One man sharpens another, which. Hey, if that's a translation you're reading, that's fine. But I also believe women can sharpen each other.
100%.
So, CSB puts it like that. Iron sharpens iron and one person.
Pastor Sean's got a good message coming up on Sunday about that.
Oh, he read these notes?
That can women preach?
Oh, dude, that's going to cook. Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be so good.
So in case you didn't know what this proverb was inspired from, back in the old days, before whetstones and diamond sharpeners, I'm talking like the BC era, blacksmiths would take dull axes and using an iron file or a special type of sharpening stone, similar, mostly of the same material, they would then scrape and grind against the dull axe. And when it was done at the right angle and pressure, it scrapes off tiny chips in the blade. Imperfections are evened out and the blade's edge becomes realigned and sharp once again. Listen to this. So physically, the friction between two hard and similar materials refine each other.
That's crazy.
So iron sharpens iron and one person sharpens another. But here's my question. This is what Jake was talking about.
Yeah, come on.
What are you being sharpened against?
That's great.
So if you're walking by some dirt and in the dirt was coal and iron ore, the average person wouldn't be able to tell the difference between. The truth is you don't know what you're sharpening against until it's too late.
That's really good.
Coal is brittle, crumbles under pressure, and stains what it touches. The more you try to sharpen yourself against coal, the more you get stained. Dare I say, corrupted by it. And then suddenly you become more coal than you were iron. And you're not even sharp at all.
That's crazy.
How can I tell if I'm being sharpened by iron or coal? Well, what does Jesus teach us? So Matthew 17:15-20. We've probably talked about this multiple times in other episodes. Be on your guard against false prophets who come in to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravaging wolves. You'll recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? In the same way, each good tree produces good fruit, but a bad tree produces bad fruit. A good tree can't produce bad fruit, neither can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree that doesn't produce good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So you'll recognize them by their fruit.
100%.
Look at what the person you're talking to is evidence of what they are talking about. I wouldn't get marriage advice from a person who's been divorced 4 times. I wouldn't ask a person who's been charged for fraud what I should invest in. I wouldn't share personal details of someone who was a gossip. If someone ever uses the phrase, do as I say, not as I do, that person is cold.
Yes, 100%.
Because if they're not even following their own advice, why should I listen to you in the first place?
That's
hey,
good.
Are you cold? You person listen?
That's
no, I'm
good.
just kidding.
That's good. That's really good.
I'd get marriage advice from someone who's had their marriage tested and is still deeply in love with their spouse. I'd ask a person who started multiple successful businesses and had major returns on their investments where I should put my money. I would share personal details of someone who I know can keep their mouth shut.
That's so true, bro.
When you find a person who is iron, the advice might not always be comfortable, but it leads to improvement. This is what my study Bible says on this. As a file sharpens an axe, a good friend encourages one another to grow in wisdom and godliness, even if it requires painful criticism. Proverbs 27:6, the wounds of a friend are trustworthy.
I love this, bro. I love this.
I've been thinking about this whole idea of like iron sharpens iron, but what are you sharpening against?
Yeah, dude. And that comes down to community. And that's why I just think everything's been linking together recently. Like, just really God's been speaking to me in this area because like, have we got the right community around us? Have we, and as a pastor, am I creating the right community for the people I'm shepherding? And it's so important. Like, who are you sharpening against? Like, you can't be sharpening against coal. But a person who isn't going to sharpen you, they're not going to strengthen you, not going to make you better. So put yourself, I would say this, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you need Jesus.
100%.
And you need people. You need people who are going to do that, who are going to point you towards Jesus. And that's why I posted a video the other day is you need a community centered around Jesus. If you don't have a community centered around Jesus, no one's going to be getting sharpened. No one's going to be getting sharpened. It's going to be constant toxic. It's going to be terrible. So if you want community, and that's the other thing too, like you just said about the wounds of a friend are trustworthy. Everyone wants community until you got to be accountable. Everyone wants community until you got to be accountable, bro. And then all of a sudden, I've just been really busy lately. I've been hanging out with my other friends. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. Dude, if you want community, you got to be accountable. You got to be committed. But at the same time, if it's worth it, it's worth it. Like, I wouldn't tell you so many times that the people I've surrounded myself with have lifted me up in times where I felt like going down. They've lifted me up in times where I've felt like giving up, where I've been falling away from Jesus, or maybe I haven't been all the way in on my relationship with God. In the past, God, the people around me have been the ones that have pointed me towards Jesus. And that's what it is. When it comes to who are you sharpening against, who's pointing you towards God? Who's helping you get better? Who's speaking life, not speaking death? I was talking to, my wife, Chelsea, she is graduating from her, I think it's a bachelor or...
Bachelor of Teaching?
Yeah, Bachelor of Teaching. I think it
let's
is.
Go.
And soon, I think it's in a couple of weeks. And there was a specific lecturer that I really want to meet. Because he spoke death over her, and he didn't speak life. And I really want to meet him because I want to confront him with godly love.
Throw hands.
I want to lay hands on him and pray over him. I just want to speak to him and let him know, dude, you didn't speak life, and I want to confront him on that. But not confront him in a bad way. I want to be nice. Don't worry, it's not going to be bad. Okay, I love him. I love him in Christ. I just want to talk to him about it. Okay, it's not bad. It's okay to talk to people.
Exactly.
And confrontation isn't a bad thing. So anyway, but yes, I want to meet this guy because he didn't speak life, and Chelsea really struggled with it. She took way longer than she needed to graduate simply because there was a lecturer who wasn't speaking life into her. And she couldn't make the decision, I don't want to be with this lecturer. This lecturer is that lecturer. She can't change that. So obviously there's that spiritual warfare of coming against it. But it's just crazy how people, okay, you can get community anywhere. You can get it, and you can have people sharpen you anywhere. It just matters, is it iron or coal? Is it good or bad? Is it someone who's actually sharpening you, or they're just staining you? They're just wrecking you. They're just, they're wrecking your blade. So I think we really gotta understand this as Christians and as maybe even unbelievers, whoever's watching, like you got to understand that you need community, but specifically you need community centered around Jesus. Specifically you need community that's going to sharpen you and build you up, not tear you down.
Yeah.
And, we can get community anywhere. Like I said, you can get community in
the shops.
You can get it at a cafe. Yep. You can get community at a gym. You can get it anywhere you go.
Yep.
At a community, I don't know, what's it called? A community center or something.
At the park.
Yeah, at the park. You can literally get a mother's group or something. You can get it anywhere, but you can't get community centered around Jesus just anywhere. It's a real subject that I'm passionate about right now, because young adults specifically, there's a real lack of community in the world. Now, as in, when I say that, I mean good community.
Yes.
I mean community that's going to sharpen you, not dull you. Because, as young adults, and I'm a young adult myself, and Ed as well, is that we're young adults and we know the struggle that we all face. The struggle we face is the pull of this world is really, really strong, and so is the pull of being with Christ.
Yes.
But and that's where community comes in, because if you have community in the world, it's much easier for you to go with the world. If you have community in Christ, it's much easier for you to stay with Christ. Maybe it's not even easier. Maybe it's simpler. It's like more straightforward. So that's why it's important to have communities in the right places. And so, like when I read this, what Ed put together, I just thought, man, this is so good for community, because we got to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with the right people. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you need Jesus. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you also need people who are going to push you towards Jesus. And then you also need people who are going to build you up and speak life, not tear you down. And as Christians, we have what the world doesn't have. We have Jesus. And so, and the world doesn't have that. They're the opposite. They rebel against Christ. So we got to make sure that we're, we gotta make sure we're surrounding ourselves with the right people.
On Sunday, go say hi to someone. Say hi to someone you wouldn't normally say hi to. Even at youth.
Do it.
Young adults next year.
Yeah, exactly. And young adults, we go out on Sunday nights after the service.
Yes. Come to it.
Come out. Come hang out with us. If you're looking for community, that's the best place to be. Like, we go out for dinner. We go most random places. We always go to a different place, but we love it because it's fellowship, it's community.
It's fellowship.
And, and now we're starting to see a real consistent group of people. And consistency also builds community, because you're around those same people. So even when you don't feel like doing it,
That's the time to do it.
That's the time you should be doing it, because that's commitment. That's commitment, because the emotions are not always going to be there. Sometimes you're not going to feel like doing it, but just commit. Stay consistent, stay steadfast, stay faithful. And those friends, that community that you're in, or that you're just started to be a part of, I promise you, in like a year or two, man, they're going to be the people that are standing by you when you feel like giving up. They're going to be the people standing by you when you're in your hardest times. Because as creatures that God has created us, like we're created not to be isolated. Now, there's times where you need to be alone. I also want to get to this too, because I think this is common in young adults. Not just ours, in ours as well, but also in the whatever general. Is it's okay to be alone. Like, I think people can become such followers that they can forget that it's okay to be alone. Because guess what? You're not lonely. There's a difference between alone and lonely, because you're alone with God. And then when you're lonely, you feel like you're isolated from God. You feel like you feel like you have no, which you're not, but you feel like you're just distant from everyone. You feel isolated and lonely. It's almost like depression. And it's like this real bad place to be. But alone is like, lonely is when you really need community. But sometimes you need that time alone with God. Sometimes you need to have that time away from just following everybody and just, and always having someone hold your hand and always being with somebody. Sometimes not everyone can be with you all the time. Not everyone can hold your hand through life. Not everyone can, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need to be alone because God wants you to be alone with him and he wants you to develop your relationship with him. So it's okay if you go through a season. I'm specifically speaking to single young adults right now. It's okay to be in a season where you may not have a million friends because you've chosen to follow Jesus. And also it's okay if you're you haven't got that spouse, or it's okay if you haven't got every night you're out with somebody or every day you're hanging out with a friend. It's okay to be like that. You know, my wife had this struggle as well, and I did too. It's okay to be alone.
Yes.
It's okay to be alone because you're alone with God.
Yeah.
And those are the times in the unseen place. That's where God does things in your heart that no one else could do, not even you, that God does. And it's just something special that happens, and he begins to mold and he begins to create in me a new heart, Lord. And that's what he does. He creates you a new heart. He begins to work in your heart and put all those broken pieces back together. He begins to bring a freshness across your body and across your spirit and your soul. And that's what God does. And I think people need to realize that it's okay to be alone.
Yes.
But at the same time, you don't want to be lonely.
Yes.
And that's why community is important.
Yeah.
And also, on top of that, having the right community around you will allow you to be alone.
Yes.
With God, especially when it's centered around Jesus.
Yeah.
And centered around God, because it's what it's about. Like, you have to have that time alone with God. Like, think about Moses.
Yeah.
Like, Moses would be called up to the top of Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
And sometimes he wanted to stay up there.
Yeah.
Because he was just intimate with God. It was just him and God up there. And then sometimes God will be like, no, you got to go back down there with the people again, man. And he'd be like, oh,
serious?
But he went back down there, and there's times where you're constantly surrounded by it, and there's times that you're alone.
Yes.
I know it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron, and it sounds like a bit of a contradiction I just spoke about, but it's not. Honestly, it's not. It's a real, they go hand to hand.
Yeah.
They really do. And I know it sounds weird, but once you understand that and grasp that revelation that God has brought about through his word, then it'll change your life forever.
Yeah.
And so I just think hopefully that encourages somebody about iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So you got to make sure you're around people who are going to sharpen you, not bring you down.
Yes.
And I would say this as well, man, cut it off.
Yeah.
If it's not iron and it's coal, cut it off.
Yeah. Get out of there. Run.
Run. Yeah, like that meme. Run.
Run.
Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, run.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to bring about more hurt in your life and more pain, and you're going to keep taking one step forward, 3 steps back.
Yep.
One step forward, and I want to say this: it's always one step forward, and it's always more steps back.
Yeah.
Because it says in Scripture that the demons come back 7 times harder, or they come back harder. When we fall and we give back into it. Not like saying there's demons attacking you, but what I'm saying is the temptation just keeps coming back stronger and stronger. Because you think about it, if we just keep falling into sin, like I've just been training back again this week, and something I've noticed with my hands is I'm getting the calluses back. So the calluses that I'm getting back, they're there because they're stopping the pain, and they're just what my body automatically does. In the same way, when we fall into sin, we begin to build a callus on our hands, on our heart.
Yes.
And so we sort of, it doesn't really hurt us as much because we keep falling into the sin.
Yeah.
It's like, at first when you do it, it's like, shame, guilt, regret, whatever. But then, and then the more you do it, it just becomes something you do. Yeah. And that's the scary part. Yeah. Oh man, that's scary. Yeah. That's probably the most scary. If you sin and you feel nothing, bro,
hooked.
You're headed for a dark destruction. Yeah. And that's when you need Jesus. Yeah. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, you need to make sure that you're doing that. And I think it's really important to get on top of that, you know, and and iron sharpens iron, dude.
Covered so much on this episode.
Yeah, we did cover it.
We cooked, bro. This is probably our longest episode.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How long is it going for?
Dude, at least over an hour.
Oh, really?
Shout out.
Let's go,
longest episode, man. That's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
One.
We covered so much.
We just kept going, man.
Yeah, man.
But I think it's because of the vision. I get distracted. But but anyone who's watching, thank you for watching.
Yes.
It was a great episode. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully you got something from today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do remember there is chapters below. So you can click on whatever chapter you want to jump to. You can jump around. And if you want to specifically look at what we spoke about, vision or community or whatever it might be, you can jump around and have a look there, which is amazing. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Smash the like.
Subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Yes. We're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. We've only done 12 episodes. Yeah. So we've got a long way to go, but God is good. Yes. And TikTok, I think we're over 100, right?
Yeah, we're over 100 on TikTok.
Instagram, we're getting there as well.
To 100.
Yeah, getting there. Road to 100. Yeah. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. We also post clips and shorts on all of those platforms. So make sure you check that out. Ed's always in the studio cooking. And always cooking up something new. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something today about this time of year, about looking back on your year, how you can get better, how you can do better, and how you can become a better follower of Jesus. And then also, hopefully you learned that you need community centered around Jesus. You need good community. What are you sharpening yourself with? Iron or coal? And that's the question we'll leave you with. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on episode 13.